You are now tuned in to FTBDM from the Black Dragon's mouth. Dragon up, man.
What's up, people? It's Jay, I'm the Black Dragon King, and you're now tuned in to FTBDM from the Black Dragon's mouth. Now, we're on episode 5, and to be honest with you, I was almost done at episode 3. I wasn't getting the feedback and engagement that I thought I would, but this is what I found out. It's what I love to do, so fuck it. I'm gonna keep pushing forward with the shows and keep doing what I do. Now, shout out to those who continue to rock with me. I definitely appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. 100%, no lie, no sarcasm, none of it. It feels good to know that I got content out there that people want to listen to. Now, speaking of content being pushed out, I'm going to start pushing it on a different day. Instead of FTBDM being on Fridays, we're going to move it to Saturday. And there's some reasons behind that too, and they make sense. One, if I encounter any technical issues throughout the week, I can go ahead and take care of them. 2, it'll give me time to gather more content for the show that I can put together, since FTBDM is kind of a weekly review mixed with commentary, 100% raw commentary, as we state with every show. 3, more people are on social media during the weekend than they are during the week, so it's the best time for me to push this out. So go ahead and mark your calendars. Instead of Friday, it will be Saturday. Now, I don't have a specific time, but I'm just going to shoot it out there on Saturday until I can get a feel of what's the best time to do that. All right? Cool. Today's music has been brought to you by the 808 Workshop. Low prices, high quality beats. Now, they've been providing me with music for the last 5 episodes, and I love it. I love their selection. They got good tracks. If you have a taste for hardcore rap, you got a taste for trap, hip-hop, and R&B, they got you covered. And the beats won't break your pockets. And for as low as $5, you can get a track that you can use for up to 2,000 units, whatever you decide those 2,000 units will be. Also, if you're the ones that like to freestyle on YouTube all the time, take one of their beats and run with it. But be sure to give these boys their credit, because they work hard and they put something out at least weekly. So go ahead, log on to 808workshop.com. Tell them that you heard about that from FTBDM and that the Black Dragon King sent you. Now, everybody should know who Issa Rae is. In case you didn't know, she's the award-winning writer, film producer, and star of Awkward Black Girl from YouTube. And she's also got a show out called Insecure, which was picked up by HBO. And go ahead, let me get a shout out to her for that real quick. I like to see black people moving up. So go ahead, Issa Rae, get your money. Now, the reason why I'm touching on Insecure is the season finale. Man, woo! Now, as we know, if you've been following for the last few episodes, Issa's been kind of disenchanted with her boyfriend, Lawrence. She feels that he's not ambitious enough. He's not established like she thought he should be at a certain age. And she fell in love with his potential, but not in love with the person. Now, it's no secret if you've been paying attention, she's been sneaking around with her ex. I think that started back in episode 6. If I'm not mistaken, somebody can go ahead and correct me on it. Her ex is a guy named Daniel, and he's almost the opposite of what Lawrence is. He seems ambitious, he has a drive, he wants to get out there and make a name for himself. Now, he has played Issa a couple of times, which by conventional logic, people wouldn't understand why a woman would float back to a man who's played the shit out of her. Now, the fucked up part is she ends up cheating on Lawrence with Daniel. Here's the thing. Lawrence called her out on it. Broke up with her. And basically told her, fuck herself, don't contact me anymore. And go about and do what you do. So the show goes on. Issa's going through the emotions. She's crying. She's all in her feelings. Lawrence is finally out there doing what he has to do, working on this app, where he's at somebody's company putting his work in. Issa's feeling the effects of it. She's trying to get back in his good graces, and he really ain't having that shit. He said, nah, fuck it. I don't want to hear nothing. Now, fast forward just a little bit. Issa ends up on a vacation with her girls, Molly, and I guess the rest of the crew. I don't pay too much attention to people outside of the main protagonists of anything. That's just me. Lawrence ends up at the strip club with one of his friends. Badass strippers all over the place. They're throwing money, having drinks, chilling, tripping, turning. The whole predictable thing about this is, of course, he starts having his little quote-unquote feelings and goes to call Issa. Now, he calls Issa and tells her, hey, let's go ahead and meet up on Monday when you get back and we can discuss what's going on. Predictable thing number one. Number two, the badass stripper pulls him into a private room, gives him a little action, twerks that ass in his face. No, fist in the air. As he's getting comfortable, she offers him a little bit of extra for a little bit of extra cheese. I think it was what, 100 for head, 200 to fuck, or 100 for head, or 400 to fuck. Either way, those two goddamn expensive anyway, in my opinion. So he turns it down. Fast forward a scene or two later, Issa has her friend Molly drive her back from vacation to the apartment that they once shared, right? She opens the door, and then the scene goes to Lawrence giving Tasha, the bank teller, who was always on his side, the business. I mean, my boy was beating it down, right? Just all up in it, porn style, pulling hair, smacking ass, talking shit. Oh man. But after this scene, they fast forward to Issa and Molly outside on a curb or on a couch as she's crying. Here's where it gets interesting. The fellas got something called the Lawrence high because for once in a television show, or a rare occasion in a television show that's written by a woman, by a female, we actually get our little small victory for once. He gets the girl that was feeling him, giving him the attention that he craved from Issa, on the side of dropping it off and giving him that sloppy. Right? If you paid attention to the show, she's basically been distant towards the fella. So what the fuck do you think was going to happen? Eventually he was going to either A, leave, or B, cheat. And some people, another thing that I'm seeing on Facebook is, since Lawrence got his little groove in, he smashed that out. It's been a rift between the men and the ladies. Again, we're happy with Lawrence time because, hey, he got his, and that boy's knocking it out while Issa's on the ground crying. Now we got a couple of places of social media that say, oh, Lawrence wasn't shit anyway, he was a fuckboy. I already talked about that bullshit last episode. And just because it didn't go your way, he's automatically a fuckboy. Guess I'm not gonna have to speak on that shit again. I'm just gonna let people have their opinion. And the ladies over there were like, nah, he ain't no good anyway. He was supposed to have had this done by such and such age or this time. Now, I'm going to go ahead and play devil's advocate like I do. It's an ENTP thing. I can understand if Issa is upset that he's not as ambitious as she thought. That it took him a while to get up off his ass and get on his feet. I understand that. Because I'm an ambitious dude myself, and I couldn't see myself being on the couch for, 4 to 5 years? That's just not my thing. You see me, or you hear me doing this once a week. If you follow me on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, anything like that, you see me posting about Black Dragon health. That's just me. If she wasn't compatible with the guy, if she really wasn't in love with the cat, she should have gone ahead and left early in the season. And let Lawrence go about and do his thing and find his own way and possibly leave him with Tasha. The bank teller won't even wearing out. But now we got two sides. Ladies are mad. He's a fuckboy because he got his in the end. So, and they made it seem like he was such a monster that he cheated. No, Issa already fucked up on her end, and they called it quits. I don't understand how that makes him the bad guy when they weren't together. He's single. He can smash who the fuck he wants to at any time. Vice versa. She can do the same shit. So now my opinion is, just because Lawrence got his in the end and he's over there with another female, how the fuck does that make him a fuckboy? There's no logical answer for that shit in my opinion. But now here's another thing, and here's my prediction, and I hope it doesn't come that way. Two things will happen that I'm going to predict. Either one, he's going to get Tasha pregnant, and then something's going to happen for that to break them up, and he's going to run back to Issa. Or two, he's going to stop after he smashes, says, hey, we can't do this, we gonna be friends, and he runs back to Issa. And the reason why I'm predicting that this happens is because that's quote unquote, according to most people who write television shows or stories or anything like that, the so-called bad guy always has to get his comeuppance, right? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. So, this is the thing that kind of gets to me. We as men are portrayed in only a few ways. We're either the lovable dumbass like Homer Simpson and Peter Griffin, and I love both of the shows, The Simpsons and Family Guy, and I watched them. Two, we're a white knight, friend-zoned motherfucker that hovers around like Steve Urkel. Now, if you grew up in the 80s and 90s like I did, you remember how Steve used to chase Laura around all the time. And then Myra came along. Myra was damn near perfect for him. She liked poker just like him. She was nice to him. She came after him. You understand that she chased him. She threw her hat. She made sure he knew, hey, I want you. Something happened to Steve. Myra was on the first thing smoking. Laura, on the other hand, was distant, told his ass to go home, told him to fuck off until later on in the series. And if it had been me, I would have said fuck it and went with Myra. Myra was cute. She was intelligent and she wanted him. Shit. I take the path of least resistance, especially if you got some of the same things that I have in common. That's a no-brainer. Now back to my point, and number three, of course, we're portrayed like Lawrence. We're supposedly unambitious. We're lazy, and we don't do shit. Or we're the evil player that needs to be changed and fixed. So that's why I came to that prediction, because it falls in one of those categories. And what's the solution? She's going to change him back, or the writer is going to change it to where the bad guy gets fucked in the end. I see that coming. So I'm going to go ahead and invite everybody to chime in on what they think. The comments are going to be open this time on YouTube because I really want to hear what y'all have to say about it. Everybody, male, female, cat, dog, alien, deity from the sky, whatever. Chime in. Say something. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Yes, I'm a man that likes the show Insecure by Issa Rae. Her gender doesn't take away from the fact that she's a talented ass writer. I love her work. I've been a fan of her work since Awkward Black Girl, which my sister Leslie put me on when I used to come back and forth between Memphis and Atlanta. I've seen some of her work when she was with Black and Sexy, and my opinion is not going to change. Now, however, I wish she wouldn't go through that predictable route. But again, I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. And it's not going to change anything at all. She still has my support. I like Black series, especially Black web series. Don't get it twisted. Put a good one in front of my face and I'll sit there and watch it for hours. Damn near binge watch it. That's one of my little guilty pleasures. And speaking of good web series, check out my sister Scylla Sine and her show Situationships. It's on YouTube. Season 1 is already done and she's in works for season 2 for next year. So while you're waiting for Insecure to come back on, go ahead and check her out. Situationships is basically a show that shows dating and situationships, like the title says, through the eyes of millennials, which means us people born in the early 80s, late 90s, to now. And of course, tell her that her frat, me, JM, sent you. And go ahead and just enjoy the show. And you can even leave comments about it on her YouTube page, or even leave some here and I'll go ahead and relay them to her. Cool? Cool. Now that's been today's episode. Thank you again for tuning in. If you need to get in contact with me, you can reach me on Instagram and Twitter at IamTheBDK. You can hit up Black Dragon House on Twitter, BLK Dragon House. You can also hit Black Dragon House up on Instagram at just plain Black Dragon House. Any more questions? Any concerns? Hit me up. Let me know. And if you have some ideas for what you want to hear about in episode 6, feel free to do that too. Jamata, sayonara. Peace.